Morning. I think every photographer should have some sort of compact camera in their camera bag. And going forward, this is my compact camera, which is the Fujifilm X100V. Now there is a ton of options for you to have different types of compact cameras, and they come in all shapes and sizes, but for me personally, this is the one that I love. I love being able to walk around with this and capture everything in this really beautiful, crisp image straight out of camera, and it's just magical, just like this weather and this scenery. Now there is a gentleman down there walking with his dog. I'm going to try and get a shot of him. It's pretty awesome conditions at the moment. I'm going to try and expose for the highlights. Now the way that I shoot with the Fujifilm X100V is I take one JPEG and one RAW, and then that saves to the SD card, and I have the choice afterwards to either edit that in Lightroom or to just use the JPEG. And the JPEGs straight out of this camera are actually really, really good. I've come over to get a little bit of shelter because the X100V, although is okay in rainy conditions, I don't want to get it too wet. Just get a nice exposed shot of that sunrise. Funny enough, it was supposed to be completely dry this morning, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, I mean, I do know it's just how the UK is. I'm trying to get a silhouette of the seagull. Oh, that's quite nice. See if we can get a bit closer. Ah, flew off. Shame. That would have been nice. Tenby is absolutely one of the most beautiful seaside towns in the whole of the UK. So if you do ever come to the UK, I do highly suggest coming down here. Try getting a little panning shot of our seagull friend there, but I don't know if it worked. As you can see, the conditions are pretty beautiful. Look at this. Rain's coming down. You've got a rainbow over there. You've got the sun beaming down. This is like legit beautiful scenery. I think if we go this way, straight through here, we'll get to the harbour, and we might be able to get a shot of that rainbow over the harbour. Well, that's quite nice. Just with the street and the rainbow above it. Now, if my memory serves me correct, I should be able to just go right here and I should be pretty much there. Look at this. Look how idyllic this is. Even in the rain, look at that. That is just... I do love living down here sometimes. You can come here and have your morning breakfast in the rain. All jokes aside though, it is very beautiful. And it'll pass. We get these a lot here in the UK. It's a shower. It'll last for about an hour or two and then it'll be sunny again. There's a cool shot that I just missed. The rainbow, there's a double rainbow quite literally over the harbour. I can see the end of it. Look at that. That's actually insane. Wow. Pretty cool. Now, there's a side of me that wishes I had brought my wide-angle lens because you guys are being treated. This is very rare. Look at this. This is absolutely insane. I can't even get it all in. So, just for this shot alone, I'm going to use my phone because I don't want to miss this because it's very rare that it happens. So I'm going 0.5 on my phone. Look at that. Let's get back to what we're here for. And at the moment, that's my hands freezing. It might look lovely, but it's Baltic. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this just whispering around the corner. That's really cool. Wow. Quite literally, these are some of the most impressive conditions I've ever seen. I'm gonna have to keep wiping. Morning.
Morning.
So I'm thinking I might be able to get a shot of the rainbow going into the lamppost. If we can get the right framing. Let's have a look here. Oh, this could look quite sick actually. He says, but he isn't very happy with the shot. It's pretty cool nonetheless. It's a very simplistic shot. I can't get over this rainbow. It's very rare that we get them here. I mean, it's not rare that we get rainbows. It's rare that you get this full, beautiful rainbow over Tenby. And even just that there, that halation behind the houses. Just some fishermen down there going out to their boat, wading to their smaller boat, which will then take them out to their boats moored just further out. I think if we get by here, this could be a cool shot. Down in the description I will leave the film simulation that I'm using, the recipe that I'm using for this video on the JPEGs, and then also my presets are linked in the description too, so if you do want to buy presets then they're down there. I don't know if this is going to come up on the camera, but all the seagulls are flying and they're all silhouetted. Silhouetted? I think that's a word. If it's not, I've just made it up. They're all silhouettes in the sky. It's probably a better terminology. These guys out here rowing now out to their boat. They do have a motor on the back, but basically they'll row past this shallow bit. Once they get past the shallow bit, they'll turn the motor on and get out to their boat out there. So this street that I'm on here is actually one of my favourite streets in Pembrokeshire because of the different colour houses, and it's just a really lovely street, and you can drive up here. So for car photographers that are watching this, it's a really cool different type of shot. Morning. So now I have a little bit of an awkward period of time where I'm waiting for the sun to pop up enough to break through the cloud to give me those nice harsh shadows and highlights. So I'm going to go get a coffee, get some food, and wait for it to pick back up again. So the rain has completely gone now and the sun has come out. I'm fed, watered, ready to get some more shots and just have a lovely morning just walking around just to see what we can find. The light coming through here is lovely, but it's still quite moody facing the beach area that way, which looks really nice. Got a few people on the sand there, which looks nice, and we'll get this kind of like nice generic shot. Oh, that is really nice. Okay, I think I'm just gonna head down this way back towards where I was earlier on and hopefully get some really nice silhouettes as we go. Instead of going straight down this way, I'm actually going to go down that street that I was talking about earlier on that I really like. But I'm just going to wait for this cyclist to go through. Hopefully we'll get a nice silhouette shot, which was worked out quite nicely, I think. is a really nice frame here. I'm just going to wait for somebody to walk through it. Or some on that side, maybe. Two nice shots. Oh, that's a nice street. This is actually quite a nice street, so... Oh, dude on the end. Don't know if I got that. It's a bit quick, but I think I might have. It's a nice silhouette. So earlier on when we were walking through the side streets, we walked through a different one. This is probably one of my favourite ones because it's just this nice little slate. You have the light, the sign that says books on it as well. I didn't mean to take that shot. So we've got two options here. We can either use the halation coming through. There's a skip down the bottom, which is a bit annoying. I don't really want that in the frame. Or, so we could do two shots here. We could do one that's exposed for the shadows, and we could do one that's exposed for the highlights. I typically think that the shot that's exposed for the highlights looks better in this scenario, but you don't get to see the sign where it says books. Okay, I'm thinking what might be a nice frame is if I go and position myself down here. I want to obviously not get the skip in the shot because it, well, doesn't look that great. But if I can get, oh, do you know what, the clouds look so good. I think we just position ourselves here, and then we'll get somebody walking through that frame. Thinking if I kind of raise myself, because what I'm thinking here is I love the frame, but I would like to see more of like the harbour bit. So if I kind of raise myself up a bit like that, and then as somebody goes through that frame, it should work out quite nicely. And I don't have the skip in it because this is too punched in. I kind of get the corner of the skip, but because it's all shadowed out, I'm not too fussed about it. And I'll just simply wait here now until somebody walks through this frame. Now I've got the White House in front of us. It's not a house, but it's where the Harbour Master is situated. That kind of sticks out with the grey background, and hopefully the people kind of are silhouetted out slightly. Oh, perfect. Somebody just standing there. That works out really well. Okay. I've been stood there for a while now, which is a bit too long, to be honest with you.
What day is it you're going to go? First of April.
Oh, this is nice. Just with the boats. So during the winter, mostly, apart from the fishing vessels, they bring all the boats in and park them up. Yeah, parking boats, but they store the boats on the side here. They bring them out of the water because of the rough seas, or can be rough weather. So they bring them out of the ocean, so the boats don't get harmed. But the little rain jackets they have on them, which is quite funny. Boats with rain jackets look quite nice with this simulation. Rain jackets. It's funny. One of the reasons why I want to try to minimise my gear when I go out and shoot new places or different places, especially with travelling this year, is because I just want to reduce the weight, reduce the load that I'm carrying around with me. And when I do commercial shoots or I'm doing stuff for brands or whatever, then I need all my gear with me. So those shoots are typically quite full on, quite heavy, and it gets a bit much sometimes carrying all of that stuff. Whereas being able to just walk around with the X100V or something similar, it just makes it more accessible, more easier. and less faff and less hassle. And I think that's what's really important when trying to keep true to photography, especially as it's a passion or something you enjoy. You don't want to be over producing on content that doesn't necessarily need to be overproduced. So for example, here on YouTube, I will be talking about different types of gear, different things, different cameras, different lenses. But effectively, whenever I'm traveling or going places, I'm going to try and use a compact system as much as I can to reduce that load, reduce that overproduction of images. Don't get me wrong, it would be amazing to be sitting here with my Sony a7R5 and a 7200 f2.8 punching into those people walking in front of that yellow house up there with the red jacket. I think it'd be a great shot, and I think it would end up looking great. But there's a time and a place sometimes for that type of content. And I will be doing that going forward. I will be creating those types of videos to showcase the gear, to showcase the lenses, etc. But I also feel like there's no need to overproduce sometimes. This little guy has got a twig in his beak. It's quite cute. Don't fly away, please. I'm trying to get closer to him. Because the closer I am, the more compressed the background is, which is nice. Are you holding that for a reason? Are you going to take it somewhere? Or are you just going to hold it? Why have you got it? Have you got it stuck in your beak, or are you just offering it up to people as like a fake worm? Oh, that would be nice. As you can see, it's just started raining again. This is what I love and hate about the weather in Pembrokeshire. Even though it's supposed to be completely dry for the rest of the day, it is stuck, isn't it? You've got it stuck in your beak. I was trying to help you. Fine, run away. That's your choice. Might be a nice shot here because of the raindrops on the water. Might be quite a nice shot of this boat. So if we put it at a high shutter speed, we'll capture those nice little raindrops. We'll just put the ISO to around 400. Now, one of the main reasons why I love the X100V, and actually Fujifilm in general do very well in low light, the X100V, because it's such a compact camera, it's got a smaller sensor than the Sony, but you can crank that ISO quite high and get away with it, which is quite surprising actually. And the first time that I realised that, I was very surprised. Get a bit of foreground action going on here with the ladder. Very beautiful. See if we can frame the buildings in the background with the ladder. It's coming down quite hard again now. Right through this bit. It's quite a nice natural frame. I think that might even look good in portrait too. I think it's really important that we shoot both in landscape and in portrait, and when you're using a compact camera like this, I personally prefer shooting in landscape like this, but equally some frames look better in portrait. As it is coming down quite hard, I'm gonna not seek shelter but walk back up into the town and end this video fairly soon because I'm running out of battery. So one of the last shots that I'm going to get is this of the lifeboat, the old lifeboat ramp. So the one closest to us, this is the old one, the one in the distance is the new one. Nice shot of the seagull. Oh. Might be a nice frame. I've only got 3% left on the action camera, so might be able to get maybe a shot of these waves, which looks really nice. Very idyllic, idealistic, however you want to call it. it looks magical. And I think later on I'm going to go in, because why not? Thought I'd come back down where I started. I said I'd come back and hoping it wasn't raining, but it is still raining. But we had a nice little break. And obviously earlier on you saw that the tide was out. Now the tide has come all the way in.
No, go down there and then right.